Have you ever had that feeling that your own story, your real story, the one deep down, is this massive source of untapped power? Well, today we're diving into an ancient practice that gives us a framework for turning our personal history into an incredible tool for healing and even for leadership. Let's get into it. This quote right here, it just nails the whole idea, doesn't it? It's about that huge shift from being just a character in a story that feels like it was written for you to grabbing the pen and becoming the author of your own next chapter. It's moving from just reacting to life to actually creating it. So to really understand how we can do this, how we can reclaim our own stories, we need to take a little journey back in time. We're going to explore the deep cultural roots of this whole practice. And that journey takes us all the way to the Loba kingdom in pre-colonial Congo. Okay, so the practice itself is called Koma Luba. And in the Luba culture, it literally translates to speak and write. But trust me, these words meant so much more than just simple communication. They were, and this is no exaggeration, the very foundation of their entire society. For the Luba people, these two things, speaking and writing, were like two sides of the same coin. Speaking was seen as power. If you could speak with clarity and conviction, you could govern. But writing, or maybe more accurately, recording memory, that was seen as a form of healing. It was how you preserved the soul of the people. And this wasn't just some abstract philosophical idea. The Luba had what they called memory arts, these incredibly rich traditions of storytelling, songs, and proverbs. And they used them for everything, to resolve conflicts, pass down leadership lessons, and shape their entire collective identity. These arts were the bedrock of their culture. And get this, if you were skilled in them, you weren't just an artist, you were a leader. So, here's the absolute crucial point, the main takeaway. You couldn't have one without the other. In their view, a leader who hadn't dealt with their own emotional wounds, who couldn't use their own story for self-reflection, well, they were seen as totally incapable of leading the community. Real leadership started with inner healing. All right, so let's build a bridge from that incredible ancient wisdom to the unique challenges that we're all facing right here, right now in the modern world. Take a look at this list. Does any of this look familiar? We live in a world just filled with pressure that leads to burnout, anxiety, and that little voice in your head, that nagging feeling of imposter syndrome. So many of us feel disconnected from our roots, from our communities, and honestly, even from our own sense of self. And this right here is why Koma Loba is so incredibly relevant today. It's not just some historical curiosity. You can think of it as ancestral technology, a time-tested, powerful tool that feels like it was perfectly designed to tackle our very modern problems of disconnection and feeling voiceless. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this ancient technology actually work in practice? Well, the Koma Loba method has been adapted into workshops that guide people step by step to reclaim their own narratives. And the workshop itself is a really creative journey. It kicks off with spoken word, getting you comfortable, then it moves into guided writing to help you access your own story. You actually use poetry as a practical tool to define your purpose, and then you strategize. How do you turn all that lived experience into powerful communication? And all of this happens within a safe, really reflective space. And the results are so tangible. People walk away with real, practical tools for communication and a personal brand that's actually rooted in their authentic purpose. It's way more than just a healing practice. It's a fundamental mindset shift. All right, let's make this personal. It's time to actually apply some of these concepts and, start the real work of authoring your own next chapter. Just take a moment and sit with this question. Seriously, if your past could talk, what wisdom, what warnings, or what encouragement would it offer up? This is the kind of deep reflection Koma Loba is all about. It's about listening to the parts of yourself you might have tuned out or forgotten. So a really powerful exercise from the workshop is called the brand in a poem. And its whole purpose is to help you define your mission and your value beyond just a simple job title or a label someone else put on you. And it all begins with this one simple, powerful statement. Just say that to yourself. I am not my job title. It's a really simple but powerful act of reclaiming your own identity. You are so much more than what you do for a living. You are the intention and the impact behind all that work. And you build on that declaration by defining your actions, your motivations, and your message.
So, what do your hands build or heal? What does your heart genuinely care about? And what is it that your voice advocates for? The answers to these, well, they form the true core of your personal brand.
Okay, let's bring all of this together. We've looked back at the ancestral roots, we've walked through the method, and now we arrive at the final, most empowering takeaway, discovering your unique contribution to the world.
This is the final question, the big one. Forget the job title, forget the resume for a second. When you are operating at your absolute best, when you're truly in your element, how do you help people? The answer to this question, well, it's everything.
And there you have it. That answer you just thought of, that right there is your superpower. It's the core of your story, it's the source of your leadership, and it's the key to authoring everything that comes next. It's been there all along. Koma, Loba just gives you the language to finally speak it.